Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm the Nerdy Stitcher, and this is my very first Flosstube. I figured with this first video I'd start off with a bit of a WIP parade slash finish parade so you can kind of see the projects that I like to work on and what I bring to the table. But first, here's a little bit about me. I have been cross-stitching off and on since about 2019. A friend in college actually introduced me to the craft and I fell in love with it, and I've been stitching ever since. There's been a couple of periods where I've kind of gone off of it, but for the most part it's been my main craft. I find stitching very relaxing. It's something that I can do while I'm doing my other hobbies. I like to read a lot of audiobooks. I of course binge watch TV just like everybody else, but that is a great way for me to get some stitching done. So that is how I usually incorporate it into my life. It's also a way for me to express myself and show off my various other hyperfixations. My other special interests include video games. I'm really into Greek mythology, dragons. I really love dragons. You can kind of see behind me. I have a whole project full of dragons. I like to read fantasy books, and I love just an overall fantasy witchy cottagecore vibe. So those are the projects that I'm mostly drawn towards. A lot of the patterns that I work on come from Etsy, but I have also been known to draft a couple of patterns myself when I can't find it on the internet. And I started this channel because I don't really see a whole lot of stitching content creators creating the kinds of projects that I'm currently drawn towards. So I thought I would share mine just in case there's somebody out there who is also interested in the various niches that I am. All right, so I have a stack of 7 WIPs. I'm a little bit of a monogamous stitcher. Well, I used to be, and I've sort of grown into taking on a couple of more concurrent projects, just so I can switch around depending on my mood. So, but right now I have 7 active WIPs, and I think I have 5 recent finishes. By recent, I mean like in the last 2 months. So that's what I'm gonna share with you today. My first project is the one I've been working on last night, most recently. Okay, a little bit of context about this project. One of my favorite video games, probably ever, is this video game called Hades. It's by Supergiant Games. It's all about Greek mythology, and so there's a lot of Greek mythology characters and characters from myths. And in this game you can build relationships with the gods and the people from the myths. So, and when you max out, actually let me just show you the project and I'll be able to explain it. Okay, so this is self-drafted by me. These are a lot of the characters from the video game Hades. So you see I have Achilles, Aphrodite, Ares, Artemis, Athena, and most recently I've been working on Cerberus. He's so cute. I love Cerberus so much. So I have two of the puppies done, and then I'm working on this last head, and then I'm gonna fill in the emblem. But as I was saying before, so in this game you can develop relationships with all of these characters, and once you max out the relationship, a little emblem pops up and says, you know, bond forged, and that's what these are. Is they're the little chibi emblems of all the gods that pops up when you become friends with them. I drafted this myself. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. I'm very excited to have this up on my wall. I started this June 15th of this year. I've been doing around 2 to 3 characters a month, and this is self-drafted by me because this is so niche. I didn't expect for there to be like any sort of pattern for this on Etsy. I think I have 25 characters planned for this, possibly 26. But yeah, currently this is sitting at 26% done. It is stitched on, sorry if I'm looking over, I'm looking at my notions. This is stitched on 18 count Ada Stormy Clowns by Zweigart. And you can kind of see that it has a little bit of like gray modeling in it, so it kind of looks like clouds. which I love that. I love that so much. It's giving very Olympus. All right, so let's move on to the second one. This is a kit that I bought in Martin's while I was up in Maine. I'm originally from Maine, so I really like to go into Martin's because they have a crafting section. And a lot of times they have fun cross-stitch kits. So this is a kit that I got from Martin's, and it's a Cinderella themed kit. The title of it is On the Stroke of Midnight by Bothy threads, and this is just the kit fabric, which I think is 14 count. I started this back in June. It's sitting at the 50% mark. And as you can see, like, there's a lot of embroidery elements in this. There's a lot of like little hidden gems from Cinderella. So you have like a stepsister and stepmother. There's a couple of mice, a little crown, a little shoe. It's been a fun project to work on. I just sort of bought it on a whim, and I've actually been really enjoying it. I'm not super into Disney, but this has been a fun project to work on when I feel more like doing like embroidery stuff. And this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. And that one was quick. Move on to the next. You'll have to forgive all the loose threads on this one. I just took it out of the hoop and yeah, so it's a bit messy. This year I really wanted to do a temperature stitch. It's something that I've never done before, and so I wanted something that would fit within my aesthetic, but also be like, you know, a way for me to track the temperature throughout the year, because this is the first year that I bought this house, so this is going to be tracking the first year in our house. All right, this project is a temperature tracker, but they're all like little potion bottles. Again, you'll have to forgive the dangling threads. Each month is a shelf on this, so I've done up through, I think I'm towards the middle of June, I think is where I'm at. I don't know the official name for this, but it's from TeenyWeenyXStitch on Etsy. I've stitched it on 14 count Cauldron by Picture This Plus. I started this January 2nd, so this is something that I was looking at doing at the end of last year, and I got all my ducks in a row. I started this on time. And yeah, this is fun. I love all the colors in this. It's so pretty. So you can see, like, starting out, we had a pretty severe Arctic blast. It's just a beautiful color gradient of how it warms up. And I do live in North Carolina, so this is gonna see some reds pretty soon, which I'm excited to work on. Right now it's October, and we're starting to get our first hit of false fall. So yeah, well, I've experienced pretty much all the colors for that project. All right, this is probably one of my oldest WIPs. I started this in 2020. This is so old that I don't think the Etsy page is running anymore, but if it is, this is Avatar: The Last Airbender by CrisselsStitches on Etsy. I don't think the Etsy page is active at the moment, but it's a map from the TV show Avatar: The Last Airbender. I haven't gotten very far in this because it's a lot of fill-in, which I don't super love, but you can see I started on, I think that's the Fire Nation, and then I've got all the emblems. So there's the Water Tribe, Earthbender, I think that's the start of the Air Nation. But anyway, I would really like to see this done because I think it would be super cute. However, I did start it in 2020, so it's kind of on the back burner for me at the moment. But I may pull it out again for when I have like moments where I just want to do some mindless stitching and I can stitch the ocean to my heart's content. And not really think about it. But yeah, that's Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. I do love that show. So maybe I'll start a rewatch and really focus on finishing that one. This is another old one, but I would like to eventually see it finished. When I was a teenager, I was super into Dragon Age, the video game series. So this is an Alistair tarot card. This is charted by me, but the art is from UK Rope Styles. It's really, really beautiful art. Here, I'll put the original art up. So this is sitting at, I think it's like 23% done. This is another project that's older. I started it in 2023. I would really like to see it finished eventually because I think it's just such a beautiful design. And in the original artwork, I think she left the chalice white, but I decided to do it in like a gold metallic fabric. I don't know if it's sparkling, but it's very sparkly in person. And to be so for real, I don't remember what this is stitched on. It's probably just stitched on some Aida that I got from Michaels. And it's probably in like the 20 count range. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's so pretty. It's so beautiful. I want to finish this. All right, back to more recent projects. This is Roar of a Ferocious Dragon by Sunrays Creations Needlearts. I'm stitching this on 16 count conifer by Pictureless Plus. It doesn't look like much now, it's just some like smoky elements, but look, we got the start of a little dragon snoot here. Just a little dragon nose. Very excited about that. I don't love the resolution of this. Maybe it looks better on camera, I don't know. I am a person that usually starts in the top left corner of my projects, which really bit me in the butt this time because this is all just background work. I'm excited to continue this because I think this is the last sort of bit that I have of just background work. And as you can tell by the dragon snoot here, my next page will be starting the dragon, finally. Finally. I started this on June 30th of this year. This is 2 pages of it done, and it's at 10%. This is one of the few that I'm doing on like a strictly paper pattern, so it's a little bit slow going. I don't have it in Pattern Keeper. The last WIP I want to show you is probably my biggest project today. I've stitched about 44,000 stitches on this project. This is my Accord of Thorns and Roses stained glass piece. This is charted by me, but the art is by Rosie Thorns 88. I'm a really big fan of the Accord of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas, and so I started this, oh gosh, May of 2022. This is on 32 count black Belfast linen by Swagart. It's actually at 20% done, which feels like a monumental milestone, considering how tiny these stitches are. So in total, it's going to be about 220,000 stitches when it's all said and done. I am at 45,000. I started this doing full cross, which absolutely insane of me to do. I have since switched to doing tent stitch, which feels a lot more manageable, and I've been able to do a lot more work on it since switching to tent stitch, because this fabric, my god, is it hard to stitch on. I don't love stitching on black. The reason I chose to stitch on black was because I didn't want to stitch in all of like the black part of the stained glass, so I sort of cheated by saying I'm gonna I'm gonna stitch on black. It'll save me some work. This will probably take me another like 5 to 10 years to finish. But it's great, I'm excited. Maybe the book series will be finished by the time I'm done. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool hidden elements from the book series that's in this, and that's why I gravitated towards this piece so much. So in the very center you have like the Cauldron, you've got, I think the Book of Breathings is what it's called. There is Ramiel, or one of the mountains. You got a little knife, you got a little truth seeker there. Eventually it will have like Reese and Feyre and Tamlin once I get further down, but that will be for another day. I have almost reached the other edge though, which is very exciting. All right, let's move on to my recent finishes. Oof. This stack is a little bit smaller. So this is an FFO. It is Pumpkin Python. Get it? Pumpkin Python from SnailFishesStitches on Etsy. A little python sitting on top of a pumpkin pie. He's so freaking adorable. I'm obsessed. I stitched this on thrifted fabric. I have this really cool thrift store in my area that sells a lot of like Aida and linen scraps. So I get a lot of my fabric from my crafting thrift store. So I don't always know what counts and what brands things are, but this is like a light green sort of fabric. Came out really cute. I think I got this frame at Michael's. I finished and started this in July of 2025. The next FFO that I have is also from SnailFishesStitches on Etsy. It is this sweet little witchy frog. This is also stitched on thrifted fabric. I finished and started this in July of 2025. The frame is from Home Goods. And I did do a color conversion on this pattern to use some purple variegated floss that I had, as well as, I don't know if you can tell, but the little potion bubbles are light effects. They're like this like neon green sparkly thread. But this is what the original pattern looks like. Yeah, I love him. He's so cute, and I love the fall witchy vibes that he gives off. This one I finished yesterday. I finished this yesterday. I did this in about 2 days. It is Deadhead Moth by CrossStitchWow on Etsy. This is also on thrifted fabric. I started this in September 8th and finished it September 9th. I finished it so quickly because it's only about 900 stitches, so I was able to finish it in a weekend. But yeah, it's so cute. I love the teeny tiny little skull that's in the moth. I think that is so adorable. But yeah, this is probably my biggest finish to date. These are all of the Taylor Swift albums from debut all the way up until The Life of a Showgirl. Basically, this project was sitting on the back burner until the 12th album was announced. All of these album designs are from NatXstitches on Etsy. And she also has all of the Taylor's versions as well. I'm planning on stitching those, but I just haven't gotten around to it, and this fabric could only hold 12, so I had to pick my battle there. So I went with the original album covers. For Tortured Poets department, I did the anthology cover, because that's the one that I listen to the most. And then I experimented with beading work on The Life of the Showgirl. And I also ordered this really pretty, like, orange sparkly, like, artisan thread. Yeah, the Life of Showgirl was pretty intense, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy with how this entire project turned out. And now I'm just looking for a frame. I also did a little bit of beading on Lover. Basically, anytime I saw that, like, the album had like a glittery effect in the lettering, I wanted to reflect that with beading. Which only happens to be Lover and the Life of a Showgirl, but even still. Yeah. And that's my tailor project. Alright, my next finished piece is Racoon Summoning Ritual by MaxStitchesArt on Etsy. This is done on thrifted fabric. I didn't love working with this fabric because it's very, very scratchy. It has kind of like a potato bag feeling, like it's very scratchy. I did not love working with this fabric, but it was a marvelous color for this little raccoon buddy. So I got over myself. I started this on August 20th and finished it August 25th. And he will eventually be gifted to a friend, but I need to find a frame first. My last finished piece is something that I was wearing this entire time. So recently I've been really into K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. The music is so good. So I stitched a crew neck sweater for the band Huntrix, which is the band that the main characters are in that movie. This pattern is from CrissCrossSerenity on Etsy. I stitched this on water-soluble Aida, and so it all just sort of melted away with hot water, but it left all the stitches and basically no residue. In the future, I'd really like to add more K-pop Demon Hunter stitches to this sweater. I already have a few saved on Etsy. But that will be future projects. But yeah, that concludes my very first Flosstube. I'm very happy to be a part of this community, and I look forward to showing you more of my projects and the progress that I am able to get done from month to month. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe. I'll try to link what I can down in the description. If you made it this far, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next time. Did I do it? Did I finish it?